In a historic setting, demons attack people at night. The town's children hide in fear. Suddenly, a massive dragon appears with an exorcist on its back. He wanted power since childhood, believing it would bring happiness, and reads a mantra, causing talismans to explode and defeat the monsters. He declares his newfound strength. In the next scene, the exorcist's house is destroyed, and he's near death, regretting his pursuit of power. He encounters a crying girl, blaming the court for his troubles. He promises to do good in his next life and dies, reincarnating. In the new life, Seika, the exorcist's son, has no mana but possesses curse energy. He studies magic in a peaceful culture. Seika uses leaves to perform magic, showing his abilities. His brother Gray teases him. Later, Seika heals an injured demon with IFA's help, revealing his magical talent. Seika and IFA form a bond, and Seika trains IFA, who can see souls. They learn to control the soul flame. Seika's birthday goes unnoticed, but he doesn't mind. A monster threatens the house, and Seika defeats it with his toxic soul flame art, impressing everyone except his fearful brother Gray. Seika's dad decides to reward him and mentions that even skilled adventurers struggle with such creatures. Seika reveals he learned about Elder Newt's weakness to fire and asks for permission to study at Rodney Academy of Magic. Seika's dad agrees but reminds Seika he must pass the entrance exams. Seika also requests to bring Ifa, a spirit, with him, showcasing her abilities. Gray, Seika's brother, challenges him to a duel to decide who goes to the academy. Seika accepts, and their father sets the duel for the next day. Seika prepares for the duel while receiving a birthday gift from Luft. Gray challenges him, but Seika wins, convincing their father to allow Ifa to accompany Seika. Years earlier, Seika's dad adopted him, suspecting his unusual powers. Seika arrives at the academy with Ifa. During the entrance exam, Amu, a commoner, outshines everyone with her elemental abilities. Seika thanks Amu, but she remains aloof. Seika senses a connection to Amu from a past life. All the students finish their written exams and gather in the hall. Seika notices Amu with a sword and wonders about her strength. The practical exam begins, and students use various elemental spells. Adifa surprises everyone with her mastery of multiple elements. Seika is proud of her progress. Seika's turn comes. He displays exceptional skill with blue fire and metal art spells. He refuses to explain his techniques. Later, he demonstrates frozen full art but worries about using more elements. The instructors are impressed. Results are revealed. Adifa ranks second, surprising Seika. Amu ranks first. They receive acceptance letters to the academy. Seika and Adifa attend the entrance ceremony. Seika senses dark spirits but leaves the investigation to the academy. Amu addresses the students and the magic circle activates. Lesser devils appear, causing panic. Instructors and students fight back, and Seika identifies the devil's master. He teleports away, leaving Adifa behind. Seika faces Gargalus, a metal demon, and they battle fiercely. Gargalus seeks a hero with red hair and great power. Seika learns Amu is the hero Gargalus is after. In a climactic battle, Seika summons Mizuchi, a powerful dragon, and defeats Gargalus. Mizuchi briefly goes out of control but returns to the void. Seika reflects on his mission to protect Amu and make her the strongest hero. We see Seika walking through the academy, mentioning the recent devil attacks and his month at the academy. Seika and a friend exchange greetings. Seika's attention shifts to Amu, and he thinks about his plan to befriend a strong person. Amu gets angry when Seika greets her, but he brushes it off and thinks about making more friends. Seika wonders how to make friends but moves on. Seika avoids getting hit by liquid falling from a pot, which belongs to Professor Cordell. They discuss its contents, and Seika learns about dark and light elements. In class, the teacher assigns Amu and Effa a ritual task, but Seika intervenes, and Effa agrees. The teacher scolds Seika, but he defends his actions. Later, Seika apologizes to Effa and explains his motive. The next day, they begin the ritual, and Amu questions Seika's intentions. They discuss their backgrounds and motivations. Inside a dungeon, they battle monsters and collaborate effectively. Seika praises Amu's strength. Amu experiences a headache, and Seika discovers a curse. He uses a barrier and transfers the curse to a paper doll. They continue exploring the dungeon, finding a magical sword and a ring. They return safely and inform the teacher. Seika confronts Professor Cordell, who reveals his true identity as a devil agent. Seka defeats him and extracts information about his curse. Seka then lifts the curse from Amu and leaves the professor suffering. Seka gives a ring to Ifa and notices Amu and Ifa becoming close friends. 1 year ahead, Amu says, Ifa can't come this far without you and Seka. Ifa responds, you've come this far with your hard work. Seka thinks it's been a year since any devil attacks. The vice principals summon Seka and Ifa to the principal's office. Amu worries Seka might be expelled, but Seka assures him it's not just him but Ifa as well. A mysterious girl watches Seka. Seka and Ifa meet the principal, who compliments Seka's clear mind. Seka's surprised the academy is run by demi-devils. The principal knows Seka's uncle but not his father. The principal reveals they need Seka and Ifa to participate in the Art of War tournament. They meet Mabel Crane, who will also compete. Amu wonders why they weren't chosen, and Seka thinks the principal wants to boost the academy's reputation. Seka explains older students are busy with research. Amu questions why Ifa was chosen, and Seka thinks it's because he escaped a dungeon and saw an elder newt. Amu's annoyed they weren't asked. Seka suggests they wanted strong participants. Amu challenges Mabel to a sword fight to prove himself. Mabel uses dark element magic during the fight, surprising Seka. Amu gets angry and Mabel warns Seka not to get hurt in the tournament. Amu decides to participate despite not being chosen. They arrive at the capital and Seka checks the tournament bracket. Amu suggests exploring, and Seka stays behind to investigate. The tournament starts with new rules allowing magic. Seka wins his first match easily. Dennis, his opponent, underestimates him and pays the price. Seka's relieved but thinks he should have been more careful. Amu and Rifa congratulate Seka, and UQ warns him to be cautious about using his powers. Seka uses his Shikigami to find Amu and Rifa. The next match features Baron, a disciple of Sage Foldo, against Kyle, who has an eerie presence. Kyle kills Baron brutally, shocking the audience. Seka suspects Kyle is more than he seems. As the audience cheers, Amu and Seka discuss the disturbing events. They wonder if Kyle possesses the evil eye. Mabel watches from the sidelines. In the second round of the 804 tournament, Seka Lamprog faces Levenir the puppeteer. Levenir unveils a golem specially designed to fight mages, but Seka summons a fast devil that defeats the golem. Levenir surrenders, and Seka explains that he concealed his demon summoning to avoid disqualification. Seka's friends express concern about his upcoming match with Kyle, but Seka reassures them. Amu asks if Seka will join the Imperial Guard if he wins, but Seka declines. They chat and watch Mabel's impressive victory, with Amu and Rifa explaining why Mabel is called a hero. Later, Seka confronts a spy and learns that the Academy is manipulating Mabel to distract from the real hero, Amu. Seka's owl overhears the spy's conversation. Seka threatens to extract information from the spy's soul but eventually lets him go, with the spy revealing Mabel's involvement. In the tournament, Kyle defeats his opponents with gravity and shadow magic. Seka encounters Mabel, who urges him to withdraw but he refuses. Reynos battles Kyle but falls to his gravity magic, setting up a finals clash between Seka and Kyle. The night before the finals, Yuki, in human form, joins Seka to sleep. Mabel attempts to assassinate Seka but fails. A drunk passerby intervenes, allowing Mabel to escape. Seka decides to spend the night with Yuki, firm in his resolve to face Kyle in the finals. Mabel's traumatic memory is triggered, and Seka approaches her to talk. Mabel acknowledges her actions in the past and justifies her behavior due to a prior conflict. Seka questions Mabel's actions, and Mabel clarifies her intentions to harm Seka. Mabel explains her reluctance to fight and the importance of her mission. Mabel reveals her connection with an organization that trains child mercenaries, including herself and Kyle. She discloses the brutal process of creating perfect mercenaries and mentions that her 3 other friends were killed. Seka challenges Mabel, expressing her desire to defeat her. They engage in a fierce fight, with Seka eventually defeating Mabel using clever tactics. Mabel is remorseful for her past actions. Later, they discuss the tournament's conclusion and Mabel's role in the events. Seka shares Kyle's apology and explains that she revived him after the match. The principal congratulates Seka for saving Mabel's life and reveals her plan to use Seka as a trump card. Seka questions the principal's decision, but the principal believes in Mabel's potential. Seka's friend inquires about Mabel, and they notice her changed hair color. Ifa encourages Mabel to study with Seka's help, which irritates Mabel. Everyone looks at me and says summer break is over. Tell your parents I've received an urgent request to investigate dragons in Australia. My dad got the request but he's busy, so I'm taking his place. Seka got good grades and her father approved. Sunkar Amo is interested but unsure. Say your parents are waiting for you. Ifa says she'll go with me, and a boy with an elf tells us about the world. He introduces himself as Cecilio, the first priest of Ashtalaka. Cecilio asks why we're here. Seka and Cecilio discuss the dragon problem in Ashtela and how they've been behaving strangely, attacking crops and animals. They suspect the Australian royal family's involvement. Next week, Amu and Mabel cry, wanting to know what's going on. Seka explains the situation. Amu suggests sending Ifa, but Seka hesitates. After 2 days, we leave for Australia. Ifa feels motion sickness, but Seka is excited to explore the new country. Liz tells Ifa that Seka is like a monster, but Ifa defends Seka. Liz suspects Seka's non-human origin, but Ifa disagrees. They discuss Seka's parents, with Liz suggesting Seka's mother is a demon. Ifa insists Seka is human. Later, Seka saves a dragon's egg from a fiery attack and befriends the dragon. They plan to hatch the egg together. Meanwhile, Ifa is shown the prince's harem and is asked to stay and support the prince. Z tries to steal the dragon's egg but fails. Ifa reveals her water magic abilities and helps Seka defeat Z. The prince, realizing Z's treachery, orders his arrest. Seka refuses the prince's request to kill the dragon. The conflict is resolved, and Ifa chooses to stay with Seka. They return home, and Liz apologizes and thanks Seka for helping them. Les, a spirit user, heals Ifa's wounds and wishes them well. Mordrev, Fiasliria, Ronnie, and Galganese are introduced as powerful characters led by a captain. They defeat a monster and continue their mission to kill a hero. A guard tells the princess to leave, she responds. In the academy, Siko asks Amu for help, but she's hesitant. Siko's father wants to meet Amu because of her magical abilities. They plan to meet during spring break, but Siko is reluctant. They visit Siko's house, where they meet Luft. Addis is revealed as Ifa's father. Gray arrives and challenges Siko to a fight. Amu questions Ifa about Gray, and Gray insults Siko. A fight ensues without magic. Gray defeats Amu, accusing her of cheating. Siko is asked to fight Gray reluctantly, and the princess arrives, causing a stir. The princess leaves, and Gray asks about her missing bodyguard. A meal together follows. Princess Kaiti mentions creating a world and a strong partner if she could re-unconnect. Princess Amu praises Amu's abilities. Addis and Blaze discuss their daughters. Siko and Gray tour the city, where Gray saves the princess from a dragon. Gray gives the princess a mirror. Training follows, and Siko notices the broken sword. They discuss the princess's rise to power and her ability to see the future, leaving Gray shocked. The princess searches for Seka in her house but finds he's outside. Yuki suggests that Seka can see the future with fortune-telling magic. They discuss the difference between fortune-telling and seeing the future. Amu mentions losing a sword fight to Seka and praises his skills. Seka hides from the princess and later plays chess with her. The princess wins, and they discuss her power to see the future. The princess reveals her fear of eating stew and her purpose. Seka agrees to support her. They part ways as Seka and friends prepare to return to the academy. On their journey, goons attack, but Seka and Gray defend. The princess helps capture the goons alive. They reach their destination, and the princess leaves, leaving Seka confused. Meanwhile, demons prepare to face danger to protect their hero, the captain. Seka is chosen by the principal to represent the graduation class at an important ceremony. Yuki questions Seka's decision, but Seka is determined to handle any challenges discreetly. Meanwhile, a demon group led by Zor plans to find and kill a hero in the city. They divide into teams and attack various locations, but encounter unexpected resistance. Mabel confronts Mordrave, and a surprising battle ensues. Zor's group realizes they're facing a formidable opponent when they encounter Seka, who reveals her power. Fireser and Roni also struggle against Seka's power and fail to defeat her. Zor recognizes Seka as the Demon King and urges his group to escape. They are eventually defeated by Seka. Amu is unexpectedly arrested for allegedly killing demon emissaries visiting the academy. Amu is accused of killing the demon emissary by guards and is arrested. Mabel tries to help but is stopped by Sekaus. Mabel reassures Amu, saying she'll be released soon. The guards argue with Sekaus but are stopped by their captain. Sekaus discusses the situation with the principal, suspecting political motives for Amu's arrest. The principal promises to use his influence to help Amu. Sekaus questions the guarantee of Amu's safety. The principal apologizes, Sekos leaves, and Mabel and Ifa offer to accompany him. Sekos declines, and they decide to wait. Sekos summons his dragon, Mizuchi, and decides to save Amu despite the risks. Amu, imprisoned in the capital, cries, reminiscing about her friends. Sekos arrives at the castle and uses talismans to monitor the situation. He finds Amu and rescues her, defeating guards along the way. Sekos and Amu discuss the situation, and Princess arrives to explain her motives. She offers to help secure Amu's safety and asks Sekos to leave. Sekos revives defeated guards and thanks the princess. They depart in a carriage, with Amu curious about its operation. The princess reveals Sekos' identity as the Demon King to an entity, and explains his kindness. Later, Amu and Sekos reunite with Mabel and Ifa in Lakana, receiving a warm welcome from their friend. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe to watch more videos like these, turn on notifications, and leave a like and comment.